everyone, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I am going to be giving you guys some drunk relationship advice. Today is such a nice day outside, despite the fact that I'm wearing a hoodie. I just put this hoodie on to make the video feel a little bit more cozy. I've been outside in the garden all morning having a couple of pink gins and lemonades, which I think you guys know by now is my favourite drink. And I knew I wanted to do this relationship advice a little bit tipsy, just because I thought it would be funny just to, yeah, don't know why, so it'd be funny. So whilst I've already had some, I thought, okay, I'm going to film it now so I'm not just randomly shotting sours at 2 o'clock in the afternoon on a Wednesday. I went over to your Instagram and I asked you guys to send me in all your girl, boy, relationship problems, and you really did not hold back. I got some very, very interesting ones, but I've kind of collated a lot of them together because a lot of them were very similar, and I feel like this is going to be a very long video. So grab a snack, grab a drink, maybe like a drink if you're of age, and let's get started. First of all, I obviously need to have a drink myself, so I am actually going to have a couple of shots of sours before we start.
Ooh, you're hard.
Because I love sours, this is the drink that Saf actually bought me in my quarantine swap box video, and I haven't yet started it, so today's the day. I don't actually have a shot glass, which is great. So is that like a weak, I feel like that's quite a weak shot, isn't it? I can't tell if that's like a really weak shot or not. Not very good at handling shots. I'm absolutely tragic at that. It's because it's been so long since I've shot.
Sure, Jan.
Now we'll make a proper drink. So I have got my favourite Gordon's pink gin glass that has made its appearance in many videos, and I've got these little bottles of pink gin. Honestly, I have so many of these downstairs and I don't know where I've collected them from, where I've got them from, but I'm not complaining because for videos like this, they're perfect. Like, just look at this. It's very satisfying to have that little bottle, and then I'm going to pour some lemonade in. Oh my gosh, this is not good. I'm doing this over a laptop and a phone. Perfect. We've now got a little gin and lemonade on the go. The first question is, has a boy ever made you feel ashamed of yourself? I personally feel like I have been made to feel ashamed in the past, and I was just very naive, and at the time, like, I was also quite young, so I didn't really know what I was doing, and it probably wasn't like meant to come across like that, but I felt like that. One thing that you need to know is you should never ever feel ashamed or be made to feel ashamed by someone, by a boy or a girl. It's such a horrible thing to do because it sits with you for such a long time, like, and it's so hard to get rid of that feeling of feeling like I'm never good enough. Yeah, I'd actually say that's more so what it is. Not feeling ashamed, it's feeling like not good enough. I have 1,000,000% felt not good enough for someone, and I'm actually not even afraid to admit that I actually do still feel like that a lot of the time, just because of how I've been made to feel in the past by like a couple of boys. It's not even just one person, it's genuinely a lot of people I've spoken to has made me feel like I'm never good enough. Never ever feel ashamed or not good enough. I'm trying to tell myself this, and I'm trying to tell you it as well. You are an absolute boss bitch. As long as you know your worth, then that's all that matters. And even though I feel like that's something that like I'm working on and it's taken me a while to kind of like prove to myself, it's definitely happening. So yes, I have been made to feel ashamed of myself before, and it is the worst thing. So if you have gone through that, I'm so sorry, but just know that you are good enough, and that person who told you that is not worth your time, and it is their massive loss. The next one, opinions on long distance relationships. I don't see a problem with long distance relationships at all. In fact, a lot of my friends have or are in them. Like, actually 2 of my best friends have been in long distance relationships, and it worked for literally years. Like, I don't think there's a problem with it at all. Actually, in a weird way, I think it's kind of more exciting because when you see each other, you appreciate it so much more. I feel like for me, a long distance relationship would actually be in some ways better because I feel like I'm always busy and always doing stuff. I like my own space. Like, I'm a very independent person and I like doing my own thing. So having someone further away for now may even be better. I don't know if that makes sense. But then I guess it depends, like, how long distance are you talking, because I've known people who have a long distance relationship like on the other side of the world, their partner is living, or like 5 hours away. Like, I don't, it depends what you kind of count as long distance, but I think as long as you want to make it work and both of you are full on set on wanting to be with each other, of course, why can't it work? Like, I don't see why I can't. The next one is, I like a boy in my year, but I don't think he likes me back, and I don't know what to do about it. The amount of people that sent me messages saying they liked someone and they don't know if they like me back, I'm like, bitch, I feel you. Oh, that's really nice. That's really, really nice. It's so strong. Like I said, so many people messaged me this, and I completely agree. I think it is so hard nowadays to tell if someone likes you back. However, when you know that, like, when someone truly likes you back, I don't think you'll have to question it. I've spoken to so many different people, and to me, it is so blatantly obvious what their one intention is from the times of the day they message me, aka when they only message you at night. I don't think they like you back like that. Not in a bad way. Like, I literally don't mean that in a bad way. I'm literally trying to save you. Like, if they only message you past 9 o'clock, just steer clear. You just genuinely will know by the things that they say to you, by the little gestures that they do, if they're always taking an interest in you and what you're doing. I just think you'll be able to tell. If someone's not messaging you, they're taking hours and hours to reply, they're putting one-worded responses, and they're not asking questions, then I'd kind of almost just steer clear and save yourself the time, because in my eyes, what is the point? When you like someone, you should want to ask questions, you want to find out more, like, you want to call, you want to talk to them. So I feel like if they're not doing that, then I feel like that's also a kind of like clear indication. The next one, so many people put this and they said, I like my best friend and he doesn't know, he kind of gives me vibes back, but I don't know what to do. As you will know, there is a running joke on YouTube that Byron and I are together. Whoa, pardon me, I'm so sorry, that was disgusting! Running joke on YouTube, me and Byron are together, and we've openly admitted in videos that we have kissed each other, and it wasn't like a joking kiss either, like we genuinely did get with each other. Byron admitted in his quickfire assumptions as well that he thought that he fancied me, and I've thought at times that I fancy him. So I completely understand like the whole like best friend thing, because you're so confused because they're your best friend, but it's like you don't know what to do about it. I can confirm me and Byron are not dating. Me and Byron genuinely are literally best friends. Like, for me, I genuinely think Byron is a soulmate in best friend form. Like, I can't even tell you how much I love that boy and how much, like, I'd do anything for him because I love him so much, but like, he's my best friend. When you like your best friend, I feel like it's so hard because you don't want to put it out there because you don't want to make it awkward and you don't want to ruin the friendship, but you also can't hide the fact that you're feeling those things, and you won't be able to enjoy the friendship whilst you're feeling like that. I personally would have a conversation with them, and even though it's going to be so awkward and you're not going to want to talk about it, it's going to become easier once you put it out there. Byron and I have spoken about it before and it hasn't touched our friendship at all. Like, we've just openly made jokes and stuff. It's sometimes even better to do it in a jokey way, but I feel like you can't hide those feelings from your best friend, especially because they're your best friend. Sit and really think first, is it actual feelings that I'm feeling? And if it is, sit and talk to them about it. You never know, it could be reciprocated. Like that trend on TikTok where it's like, I'm gonna kiss my best friend now. Go do that. I mean, that could actually be a really fun icebreaker. Like, put the camera up, be like, and if it doesn't work out, be like, oh my god, it was for a TikTok, like, bant. That's actually so good. That's actually some sick advice. I'm well proud of that. Pretend you're gonna do a TikTok, go in and kiss them. If it doesn't happen, you've got your answer. If it happens, you've also got your answer. How to get over my ex that I'm still in love with but I feel like I'm not good enough for. I have never had a solid ex because, as you would know, I've never been in a relationship, so it is so funny that I'm doing a relationship advice video. However, in the past I have deeply fell for people before, so I feel like it doesn't really, like, it still counts because I've had to try and get over a couple of people. For me, the way to get over them is to stop contact completely for a while, because the more you're reminded of a person, those feelings are never going to go away. You're always going to want it to go back to how it originally was. I know everybody says it, but focus on yourself. So work on bettering yourself. Even if you just set an alarm in the morning, get up, you go for a run, or you do something that you enjoy, you do something motivating and something that's going to take your mind off of it. I remember there was a time in my life where I liked someone so much and it absolutely broke me as a person. Like, I look at pictures and I remember how sad I felt in that picture, which is horrible to think about, but it was really weird. It was like one day I woke up and the switch had just flipped and I was fine. Like, I was working, I was doing stuff, I was spending a lot of time with my friends, I was spending a lot of time with family. It was like one day I cared and one day I was like, you know what, it doesn't matter anymore. The more you start to talk to new people, not like a rebound thing, just general new people and your friends, and you spend time focusing on yourself and something that you love doing, you will just automatically, without even realising, slowly forget about it. I know it's obviously easier said than done, because when you've been in like a 4-year relationship with someone and you've spent so much time with them, that's not going to be easy at all. But that would be my personal advice, to cut contact completely and focus time on yourself, and make sure that you get up out of bed, because the longer you lay in bed and dwell on the situation, the worse you are going to feel, and take that from personal experience. This one's, yeah, I don't like this one. My friend's boyfriend cheated on her with 4 other girls and now she's back with him. What do you think she should do? I am going to be honest, I will always stick by the quote, once a cheat, always a cheat, because I think once you've done it, you are capable of doing it again. And I just think, why would you cheat on someone when it is so much easier to end it with them? And obviously they're going to be sad, but just don't cause them the pain of making them feel worthless. I've never been cheated on, I've never been in a relationship, but I have never also been someone's only girl, so I definitely know the type of vibes that we're going for. If you cheat on someone 4 times, I am going to put it completely bluntly, they don't love you. I think it's more of like they're comfortable and they don't really want to let go of you because they almost know that you're not going to let go of them. I'm trying to be quite harsh and to the point in this video because I hate cheaters. I think it is disgusting. I say this, but then in other aspects of life I do believe in second chances. But once someone cheats, I just feel like, what is the point? Because like, you're building a relationship on trust and they've broken the trust. So going back to this question, 4 times and she's back with him, I think she deserves way better, and I know that she would be so deeply in love with him, hence why she's gone back to him every time. But to do it 4 times, that's not just doing it once. And I'm pretty sure he also would have apologised after every time, therefore the apology means nothing. 1 time, okay, you get back with him. 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, you can find so much better, and you can find someone who will actually treat you right. So no, 4 times and get back with him, babe, no. I really like him, but I hate the whole talking stage, and I hate guessing if he likes me or not. I completely feel you. I think the talking stage is such like a weird stage, because 1, you never know, like, are you truly in the talking stage? Like, you just, how do you tell? 2, it can sometimes vary in length. Like, you could be talking to someone for like 2 weeks and they're like, I want to be with you, or you could be talking to someone for literally 6 months and they don't mention it. Again, I feel like with this situation it is genuinely easier to talk to them and say, almost not in like a I want to be with you way, just kind of in a roundabout way, what are we, what is this, what do we have going on, I just want some clarity. That's personally what I would do. Like, I feel like if I was in a talking stage for like a long period of time and the other person hasn't mentioned it, I would, even though at the risk of losing my dignity, I would still ask, just because what's the point? Like, if I was talking to someone, if I really liked someone and I was talking to them for like 3 months and they never mentioned it, then it got to 6 months and never mentioned it, are they ever going to mention it? Like, am I wasting my time? I also think that things like this are built on honesty, so you should just ask them and be honest with each other, because I know what it's like to really like someone and them not reciprocate the feelings, because babe, it's happened to me every single time. That's how I'm going to end that one. A lot of people also said this, and it's, I feel very pressured to lose my virginity. I know it's so much easier said than done when you have friends all in a friendship group that have lost their virginity, they're getting boyfriends and they're sleeping with people, but please, please, please do not ever feel pressured to lose your virginity until you are 100% comfortable with the person and you feel like it is the right time. You don't need to keep up with anyone, you don't need to compete with your friends about how many people you're sleeping with just to feel like you can join in on the conversation. I feel like your first time is such a like it's kind of like a special thing. Like, you want to have a good experience, you don't want to have a bad experience, so forcing yourself into it is going to give you a bad experience. I literally just blacked out. I blacked out like I was in a parallel universe and my like sim self was glitching. Bottom line is, don't feel any pressure, go at your own pace, and if you ever want to talk to me about it, drop me a DM, because I will happily talk to you about this topic, but just maybe not like in public, just like in private. I don't think I love my boyfriend anymore, but he's still crazy about me. What do I do? I feel like I can answer this from your boyfriend's point of view. Save him or save her the upset and tell him and break up with him, because there is nothing worse than being with someone who you love so much and the feelings are not reciprocated. I know it's not going to be easy and it's going to cause them so much upset, but tell him or tell her, if you're in this situation as well, straight. Sitting there questioning it and letting the other person think the relationship is perfect is not a nice thing to do. And I know you've said you don't love them anymore and you don't want to be with them, but just do them the favour and tell them the truth. Next one, this scared me a little bit, I'm not gonna lie. I'm 14 and I've never had a relationship and I'm scared that I'm moving too slowly. I feel like this is a perfect example of how society is going, and it absolutely terrifies me. You are 14 years old. You do not need to worry about having a boyfriend. You're still in school, have fun with your friends, go out and experience and just be like, you're still a child, like have fun growing up and being young, because I'm 19, I'm 20 this year and I've never had a boyfriend, and I quite honestly could not care less. At 14 years old, to not have a boyfriend, you are not moving too slowly, you are moving at the perfect pace. You don't need to feel pressured into thinking you need a boyfriend or a girlfriend. You do you, you go at your pace, and if you find someone that you want to be with and you really like them, of course that's completely different, but never feel like you're moving too slowly, especially at the age of 14, for not being in a relationship. I'm trying to think, like I spoke to my first proper, like I had like little boyfriends growing up and stuff, but that don't count. I spoke to my first like proper person when I was like 16, 17. Like until then, I was the kid in school that literally, like in secondary school, the entirety of the school until year 11, I spoke to no one. Even though like in school I kind of always did want someone, because all my best friends always had boyfriends and I was always the left one out that never had anyone. Like I'm not like trying to get anyone to feel sorry for me, but like no one ever liked me at school, so that's fun. Just do not feel pressured, especially at 14, to need a boyfriend, because babe, you've got all your life to get a boyfriend, and believe me, just wait. This is kind of fun. Some advice on how I can shoot my shot. Slowly start off with the compliments. That's always a good way to go, because once you start complimenting someone a little bit, they kind of get the vibe, they're like, oh okay, like I can see where this is going. So you start off easy, you start off complimenting them. You can ask to meet each other, of course you can ask them on a date. Obviously that's not really easy right now. You could do a virtual date. So if we're talking like how to shoot my shot isolation edition, I actually got a DM from a guy about a month ago, and I'm not gonna lie, I never replied. I'm so sorry to this guy if you're watching. He kind of like shooted his shot. Is that how you say it? He basically said, let's play a game of rock, paper, scissors. If I win, I'll send you food and wine and we can have a virtual date on FaceTime. And I read it and I was like, that is so sick. Like, I proper applaud him for that. So that's actually a really cool way of shooting your shot. Like, to whoever said that to me, thank you so much, because I'm passing on your advice to everyone watching this, but that was a really cool way of doing it. I feel like that's fun as well. I feel like that will make the other person really smile and they'll be like, oh my god, that's just like a nice gesture, do you know what I mean? Or you could say to someone like, let's watch a movie together tonight, and make sure that it's like a movie that you know they want to watch. Do you know what I mean? Just like, it's like picking up little hints about people and things that you know about them that they love, and then offering to do something around that. I feel like that's just a fun way of shooting a shot, but I actually love the rock paper scissors one. So if you want to ask someone out, do that. What do I do when I've liked the same boy for over a year but he has a girlfriend? I'm trying to think if I've ever liked someone who had a girlfriend, and I don't think I ever have, but I used to speak to someone, and as soon as we kind of stopped talking, they got a girlfriend very quickly, and I then realised that I actually did like them. So that was fun. Don't know why I put that in there. If you know that they have a significant other, I would steer clear and try and focus my emotions elsewhere, because they clearly want to be with someone else, putting it bluntly, because they're with them and not you. And also, if they split up, almost a kind of rebound situation, like, do you know what I mean? It's just a bit too soon. It's so hard when you like someone who has a girlfriend, I know, but I don't think you're ever gonna really get anywhere with it unless they really do feel the same. In which case, if it's been a year and they've still not split up with their other, I don't think it's gonna work. I am so sorry for putting this so blatantly, but I'd rather be completely honest with everyone, and I feel like just when you know someone has a boyfriend or girlfriend, just steer clear out of respect. A lot of people said this, and I'm so nervous around any boy I like, and it really gets to me. Any advice on how to be less awkward? I am one of the most awkward people you will ever meet, so I have a lot of advice to give you here. I don't know what it is, but like around a boy that I like, I just get so nervous, and it's really weird because I actually have a lot more guy friends than I do girls. Like all of my home friends apart from Tanisha are guys, like Dev, Doyle and Joel. I'm so comfortable around them, like they're literally like the girls group chat, like do you know what I mean? So I find it still really weird that I get so nervous around people because of how comfortable I am around them. It's almost a feeling like you want to impress someone so much that you're overthinking every movement and everything you do because you want to impress impress them because you like them. And I don't even know how to stop it. Like, I feel like it's one of those things that takes time, and the longer you spend with someone, the more naturally you're gonna adapt to being around them. Yeah, it's a hard one. I guess it depends what situation you're in or where you are, but maybe the first time you meet them, don't let them come around yours. Go out and meet them, go and do something fun. You're kind of breaking the ice, and then, you know, then you can have like a movie night in or whatever. You do you, whatever you want to do. But just slowly break the ice into it and get comfortable around each other, and then hopefully you won't notice about it too much. Just don't think about it. The more you think about being awkward, you're going to be awkward. I sometimes think to myself, like, don't do that with your arm, and then I'll do it with my arm, and I think, well, why did I do that? And I just said don't do it. Just think of him or her, if it's a girl that you want to be with, as another one of the lads or girls, and don't think anything of it. Just be really, really chill, really, really natural, and be around them like you would be like your best friend. The next one is not necessarily a like relationship advice, it's more a general one, and it's struggling with your body image or body acceptance. I feel like this is a topic that I've never really spoken about, and not a lot of people would assume that I've struggled with body confidence, because I'm quite, or appear quite confident on my videos and on my Instagram, because I post bikini pictures. People assume that. Accepting myself for who I am and the way I look has been a very long journey, and especially in isolation, maybe like 2 or 3 weeks in, I was so goddamn sad. I can't even tell you. I would look in the mirror and the amount of things I would pick apart about myself, actually, like, it makes me want to cry again. I cried myself to sleep so many times because I had so much time to think about myself and think, I wish I had this, I wish this wasn't like this, and I wish I looked like that. And it's horrible. But one thing I have learned, because I felt like that a couple of years ago and I got over it, and I got over it again from a couple of weeks ago, like now I'm completely fine. I love my body because it keeps me alive, and my body is healthy, and I love my body. So even though not all the time it may not look exactly how I want it to look, I just think it's keeping me alive, therefore I love myself. On Instagram there is massive expectations of what your body should look like, and a lot of it is unrealistic. I feel like it is getting better. It depends who you follow, but it definitely is getting better, and I don't follow anyone who I think posts unrealistic body standards, but I do think social media has had a massive role to play in why people feel like this. What I personally did, and I did this a couple of years ago, and I think I've said this in a video before, is I literally sat in a mirror and I spoke to myself and I said the things I don't like, but then I said the things I do like, because there is something you like about yourself, whether you tell yourself there is or not, there is something. I got all my bad emotions out, but then I started to pick up all the good things. So I was like, oh, I'm just using this as an example, but like, I like how my eyes look. And the more you tell yourself you love yourself, not in a cocky way or an arrogant way, the more naturally you will forget about feeling bad about your body. Look in the mirror and try it, and if you do, DM me and tell me what happened. But for me, I feel like it really worked, and I am so much better now. I also just started working on myself a little bit more, and I definitely let myself go a little bit, and that's why it caused me to kind of go backwards. Now I can hand on my heart say that I feel so much better, and I can look in the mirror now, and even though I'm always going to have my insecurities, as a whole I feel back to myself. I feel like I'm always going to be alone. How do I not think this? A lot of the time I feel like I'm going to be alone too, so you don't worry, you are not alone. I feel like a lot of people feel like they're going to be alone forever because social media shows these massive expectations of relationships, and it seems like everyone and their mother is in a relationship, but they're not. I'm not in a relationship, I've never been in one, and that is fine. So you're never going to be alone. I am a true believer in the fact that there is someone out there for everyone, you know, like whoever it is. Like, I genuinely think there's someone out there for everyone, and I also feel like when you talk to them you kind of know. Like, you'll just kind of know. How do I get over having trust issues due to past relationships when it comes to having new ones? Straight up, I would admit as well, I have massive trust issues because I've never been anyone's only girl, and also because of what I do as well, I find it really hard to judge people's intentions. I'm also the type of person that would I used to trust way too easy, so now I find it a little bit harder to trust people. But I also do believe that trust someone until they give you a reason otherwise, and I've always been like that. I will trust everyone, you know, to an extent until they give me a reason otherwise, because you can't judge a book by its cover. You can't hear what other people think, and you know, once you're with the right person you will know, and you know you can trust them, and you know that they won't. Like, I have certain people in my life, and even certain people that I used to like speak to, that I genuinely know I could trust with anything and everything, and there is no way they would go against that. Like, I know that in my heart. I catch feelings too fast. How do I avoid this or prepare for the worst when he doesn't care? I used to catch feelings within a day. I'm not even being dramatic. Someone could message me, or I'd find someone and I'd envision my future with them, what our kids would look like, our wedding, our dream car, our house. I'd envision everything literally within 5 minutes, or like within one message. It is a joke. It is a joke. I don't do it anymore, but it is a joke. Catching feelings too fast is something that is hard. It is hard to deal with because, like I said, I've done it in the past. Like, I genuinely only went on one date with someone before and I caught so many feelings, and for like a month I could non-stop think about it, and I was like, why? And now I look back and I think, what was I doing? Just tell yourself, be strong in your mind and have the willpower. Avoid the urge. Do you know what I mean? Like, obviously you can like someone, that's not bad, but catching feelings fast, I can't give advice on it because I used to do it and I don't know how I stopped doing it. I guess I could still do it now, but I don't know, it's hard to explain, isn't it? That's a tricky one. That's a very tricky one. And this is the last one. Not really relationship advice, but should I be worried if I still haven't had my first kiss and I'm 16? This kind of goes back to the girl who was 14 and hasn't been in a relationship. At 16, should you be worried? Absolutely not. It's so funny actually because a couple of people sent in questions saying I'm 20 and I haven't had my first kiss. So like, no, I am the type of person, or I have been in the past, where I do like to kiss a couple of people in the club. I really thrived off of it on a night out. Like, I would just love it. A couple of nights out, I've literally said to my friends, my aim is to kiss someone tonight, and I'm like, why? Why did I even say that?
You're dying for it!
If you haven't kissed someone at 16, it does not matter at all. Just wait until you want to kiss the right person. I still remember the first person I kissed, and I wouldn't say I regret it because, like, at the time it was right, but then looking back I think, oh god. Just make sure it's with the right person and enjoy it, but also don't feel pressured into doing it. That is the end of my relationship advice. I'm gonna be honest, I can't really remember a lot of what I've spoken about because the camera has been recording for a very long time, so this video is also going to be very long. If you want me to do another one of these, please let me know and tell me what other topics you want me to talk about, because I feel like I've given out some quite good advice. I'm really proud of that TikTok one. People might think that's a stupid advice, but I think that's really good. Just go and have fun, enjoy life, enjoy being in isolation and talking to people and getting to know people, and stop drinking at 2 PM in the day. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please smash a huge thumbs up. Let me know down below as well, like I've already said, some other topics you want me to talk about. I always read all of your comments, so leave some questions down below and I will sit and answer them as well when this video goes up. But I love you all so much, and I will see you very, very soon for a brand new video. Mwah.